All right, joining us tonight to take a look at the suggestions of citizens arming themselves is Adegbenro, who is the Director General Acting, National Commission Against the Proliferation of Arms, Light Weapons, and Ammunitions and Chemical Weapons. Yeah, thanks so very much for joining us on Newsnight. Yeah, I mean, it's quite alarming. 15,000 IDPs, arising from just this single attack in Plateau State. Are we at war?
We're not at war, but we're at a very danger point as we speak. The attack from Jos to what happened in Benue to what happened in Abuja recently is very alarming. I've been in security now for 27 years of service. I've never seen it this bad, but it's crucial for us to take drastic actions. As we speak right now, we need to do it.
What kind of drastic action? When the Chief of Army Staff, General Taoreed Lagbaja, is saying, no, citizens can't defend themselves. They can't carry arms to defend themselves.
Well, if what he's saying is actually quite right, I'm on his side on that statement. Because as where we are in Nigeria today, you're looking at it that, we don't have any database of even our citizens. And we have porous borders. Our passports, our IDs are with different people's hand that is not Nigerians. So how do you actually want to tackle the issue of control of all this ammunition? And as far as I'm concerned, it will only come to anarchy, because the security architecture are trying their best. But if we don't have this database properly in place, it will be very, very difficult for you to give arms to any individual. Even with the license, there's already a license for individuals, but that's a hunting gun. But if you see the kind of guns these people are using, it's so sophisticated, and you wonder that how does it get into Nigeria? We have porous borders.
But your commission is charged,
yes,
to mop up these arms and the rest. Do you work in collaboration with the customs, with immigration, with the Directorate of State Security and other, agencies?
Well, let me tell you a little about the commission. The commission was set up 15 years ago as NATFOS. NATFOS was disbanded because of national ECOWAS treaty was signed in 2006, and which was to set National Commission for Purification of Small Arms, Light Weapons, and Chemical Weapons. Nigeria signed into it in 2006, and for some reason or the other, we didn't take it until 2 years ago, which was the Ninth Assembly. We approached the Ninth Assembly, which passed the bill for us to be National Commission.
Yeah.
Yes. And
if not, it had been ad hoc basis and the rest. So
that's basically
the work then wouldn't have been very effective. But today, what kind of achievement would you say the commission has gotten when you look at the carnage, the genocide in Jos, and just like you said, around the Middle Belt, from Taraba to Plateau to Benue, even now in Abuja, we have the bandits and terrorists in our midst here.
You see, this is what I'll tell you. Right now, we're at the stage of our president, Asiwaju Tinubu, to put an assent to the bill because it wasn't assented to. But as it is, we are 274,000 personnel. We're in every single state and local government in Nigeria.
274,000.
Yes, and it's only the police force that is bigger than us. And as we have it, in the past, we have been doing a lot of operation with the police force. Tracing because of ECOWAS all the way from Ghana to Onitsha. So there has been a lot of successful things that we've done. But right now, we're at a standstill position because we are waiting on our president to go forward and put to paper the assent.
So which means you have limitations in performing your duties.
Because right now, it couldn't have come at a better time for the president. Because one, Nigeria cannot even have afford to have a new security outfit.
Okay.
We are a pure donor outfit.
Okay. You talked about, I mean, your commission saddled with light and small arms,
Yeah.
you know, then ammunitions and chemical weapons.
IEDs.
But the kind of weapons that these bandits and terrorists are armed with are sophisticated. Sometimes even the military probably, well, I would say they have it, you know, if it comes to the 9mm ammunitions and the rest.
AK-47s.
And AK-49. How do they, you know, beyond the borders, do we have Nigerians who import this thing? Because you talk of tracing some tonnage and the rest, businessmen who import this.
Because you have to ask your question. Since 1999 to date, there's been a lot of arrest of containers, of ammunitions, guns and different things, even from the borders and everything. But not up to date as one person been brought to books. Which shows you that there's something critically wrong. Is in within.
The state is aware.
Of course they are. There's no way they won't say they're not aware of it. Of course they are. Because who are these people bringing this thing? How would you seize ammunitions and everything? In the modern world that we stay today, even a bullet has a barcode. You put that barcode into your telephone, into Google, will tell you the manufacturer of that thing. Isn't it easy for you to now contact that company? Hey, we found this thing. Who are the importers of this thing that bought it from you? Go to the shipping agent. Who are the people that ship this thing? Nothing is ever done. It's only at this time that we're seeing that this present government actually want to curb this security situation. But as you have it, unless you get rid of certain people that are bringing this thing, we ain't going anywhere. And
the argument about, you know, Nigerians defending themselves is not just coming out now. I remember a few years ago, former chief of army staff, I mentioned it here before, it was all over the media that Nigerians should defend themselves. Carry arms if you can.
Why would Nigeria carry arms? Look at the best country that with data, United States of America. You see fine arms in the illegal people. So coming to Nigeria that we have no database at all of how many citizens we have, porous border, people carrying our passport that they are not Nigerians, how are you now going to checkmate them?
So how do the people secure themselves?
The only way they can secure themselves is by embracing NATCOM. I'm not going to come on TV and tell us what is into. I, Dr. Otumba Adegbenro, Acting Director General of NATCOM, has the solution. So they should come to me.
So tell the world the solution. Mr. President is watching, so why wouldn't you let him know? Nigerians are curious. Why wouldn't you let them know?
My president is watching. I'm glad that he's watching. I should be invited and I'll have a conversation with him. Because what is really happening in Nigeria, a lot of people cover it. And when they are covering this thing, it is bad for this administration because we've met a poor administration and the poverty level is not getting people. Do you know how bad it is? People are not even buying guns anymore. They are renting it. We have cases in Bayelsa, in Rivers, in Edo, in Delta. They rent it for their illegal activities and give the returns back to who they are rented for, and they keep their own money. That is what we are right now. And we are sitting on a keg of bomb. If we
keg like of a gunpowder.
As we speak. And it is time that we need to strike. Good for us. The National Security Advisor is somebody that is very proactive.
He has a center. He controls a center.
He controls a center, but he has to put everybody together. It's not just by center or by NATCOM or by the army or by the police. If you look at this thing, it's a collective effort. Because if you look at it, how can you tell me that you don't know your neighbor is into this? Look at all the black spots that we have, even in Abuja. I'll give you for a personal reason. On a Friday, 4:10 p.m., outside the Central Mosque, I stopped my car to give 3 elderly women money. At the point that I was trying to go back to my car, I saw a swamp of beggars. I thought they were beggars. But struggling, I just felt a pinch in my right rib. And I looked and struggling with them. It was a gun he was carrying. I'm not stupid, so I left him. He took my wristwatch, my wallet, my telephone, and my slippers. There comes running the police after they had gone away. Where are they? I look at this as this is Abuja.
And you, as the DG of NATCOM, you are not armed.
I'm not armed because we are waiting for their assent. But let me tell you something. Something bringing to the table for Nigeria, because I'm very patriotic. My grandfather died by a bullet. Late Pa Alfredo Wane, the financier of Nadeco. A lot of people are saying that, oh, I'm afraid to die. I said, no, I'm not afraid to die. God is the one that is giving the day you're going to die and how you're going to die. I'm ready to back my president to make sure that we curb this thing, because it's for every single one of us. And also for every Nigerian to look and be doing community policing. Community policing doesn't mean you have to be in police. You should look at if something is wrong. If you have a neighbor in your house next door to you, he doesn't go out till night, you should report to the police. Everybody in Nigeria keeps the, oh, I'm okay, so I don't need to tell the police anything. But that is wrong.
Let us look at another deficit in the Nigerian milieu environment is TRACON, the total radio coverage of Nigeria. We hear and we know is zero.
Yep.
Isn't that a minus too?
It is a big minus, because even if you put it in your Google map, sometimes it will take you to a river. You say you want to go to Ademola, he will take you to one river. You know, if we don't have this, these are all.
So just any country can spy on us, hit us, bring in all these weapons and the rest.
But you see, all this thing is all collective effort. The only good thing about it is that we all have
what collective effort do we need for total radio coverage of Nigeria? Is it not government that is supposed to provide it?
Yes, it's
that
government.
Nigeria is not covered.
But isn't that the
so even look, even the planes are flying at great risk and the rest. So,
that's why they say Nigerian pilots are the best. I will not dwell on the fact that we are saying government needs to do this, government needs to do that. We as individuals, we all have to come out and speak. Not a lot of people have the courage to come out and speak. You have to come out and speak, because if there's no security in this regime, there's no way it can work. And the only good thing is that you have a man that is leading you today who is dogged. He might not be talking. A lot of people do not know Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He fought Abacha's regime to a standstill. And he's coming to it. But unfortunately for us, we are at a point whereby Nigeria cannot afford anything. We are borrowing. So if we are borrowing, why don't we look inwards and try and stop all this thing? Why don't you embrace NATCOM? NATCOM is at 0 kobo to you, and all the things we want to do, it is written down there. The National Security Advisor, this present National Security Advisor, is the first policeman I've known to become a National Security Advisor. And if you that I've known.
Okay, that you've known. It's all right. But
from 1999 to date, is the first policeman. So he did well in the police. He did well as the first executive chairman of EFCC, which they tried to assassinate him. And he was a presidential candidate and also a governorship candidate. And he's trying. I've had conversation. I look at him and I'm like, this is the only way we can all embrace ourselves and make sure that Nigeria goes forward.
I think Nigerians don't want to hear he's trying. They just want good results. They want to be secured. They want to be able to sleep with their two eyes closed.
But that happened before this regime. This regime is not even barely 1 year old. So there is patience. And if we continue the way we are going, our borders is bad.
Dr. Adejare,
Yes,
let's not dwell on whether this regime is new or is the regime of a Methuselah. What Nigerians are particular about is good leadership, good governance, security of lives and property. That's just it. Whether it's 1 day old, you can make the greatest impact in 1 day, even in a 4 years reign. I want to thank you. I want to thank you so very much, Dr. Adejare Adegbenro, Acting Director General, National Commission on Light and Small Arms, Ammunition and Chemical Weapons, for coming on Newsnight.
Thank you very much.